Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome back to Football Moshla. It's not Solvay or anyone. আমরা লবণ নিয়ে কাজ করি আমরা বাংলা স্টাইলে ফুটবল নিয়ে কথা বলি and you better be blind or not to know what we're going to talk about today. It's going to be Manchester United. With you, I'm your friendly neighborhood host, Fardan Ahmed, and with me I have my co-host.
Kazi Adil.
What are we doing today?
We are basically actually doing how to rebuild Manchester United. This is,
Oof,
if you are not a Manchester United fan, please do not leave because
too much
we
weight.
want
How to build like a big load. I can feel a lot
how
of
to
load.
pura rebuild, মানে shoulder bench press করতে হবে. So some workout stuff. Full disclaimer, disclaimer. Today, both of us are Manchester United fans, but this episode is all about how to rebuild Manchester United from the point of view of two Manchester United fans, but we not going to be blind to all the shortcomings of Manchester United. So we're going to take a different point of view of the entire thing about Manchester United.
Cue music. Don't stop. Believe it.
I think we lost half of the listeners already, or the
I
people
apologize,
watching.
I apologize. It's like
Yeah,
musicটা চলে আসে, আমার dream দেখতে. I have a dream, Martin Luther King বলছিল, but we
yeah.
also have a dream.
But we might actually wrap up the segment with some Manchester City stuff, Manchester United with Manchester City. So stick around till the end just to hear what we're going to say about Manchester City. So let's start. Where should we start with rebuilding Manchester United, Fardan? So should we just give the listeners and the viewers a little bit of a history post Sir Alex Ferguson era, right?
They would obviously want to hear that, but for them to know who's this guy sharing. So what is your background? What made you Man U fan? How do you know so much about United?
I have seen bits and pieces of Manchester United winning the 1999 treble. I've seen Alex Ferguson on Star Sports, ESPN, whatever, when I was back in Bangladesh. Channel দেখাই তো on and off দেখতাম 2001 একটা হালকা পাতলা দেখছি. Then after the 2002 World Cup, I started following it because 2002 World Cup David Beckham created a buzz, haircut, free kick, injury, media attention. He was injured, came back. A lot of stuff related to Manchester United. David Beckham carried Manchester United. So then started talking. আমার একটা friend ছিল. We were very analytical. I hope he's listening. Let me just give him a shout out. Zayan, shout out, buddy. He's then he was a Manchester United fan. We started analyzing Manchester United, and then Ronaldinho came into the scene. The big summer rumor was after the World Cup, after he knocked out England, because we all were like England fans. That was basically when the rumor started that Manchester United gonna get Ronaldinho, sign করছে, but yeah, Barcelona কাছে. So that's when the whole interest happened, started following it, saw that the Manchester United didn't have strikers like the Brazilian Ronaldo or anything, but they had a Ruud van Nistelrooy, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a backup. Best thing about was the wing play. I started following Manchester United, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, cross, Nistelrooy goal করতো. So that was basically how I started. And after that, since 2002, so 2002 to 2003, I've watched every English Premier League season, and I followed up with that. So that's where the Manchester United thing comes from. That's my background a little bit. And also, I play football/soccer, depending on which region you guys are here. So America the soccer, rest of the world the football. I have played it. I still play it. মাঝখানে এখন break আছে, but so fun fact, which I started off as a goalkeeper. Then the ultimate promotion happened. I started playing when I came here in the United States. I didn't want to be a goalkeeper, and then any other position I was not built for. But then I became a Feliani and in the box and became a striker. So
You have the height
goalkeeper,
for a keeper. You have
I had the height, I had the reflexes at one point, I had the physique, but I didn't want to pursue being a goalkeeper. বাংলাদেশে গোলকিপার ছিলাম, আমেরিকাতে একদম পুরো প্রমোশন হয়ে ডাইরেক্ট স্ট্রাইকার. And I think I have footage of me as a striker. So those who my Bangladeshi friends, if you guys are listening and you guys have some doubts about it, Fardan, you can vouch for this, right? There are some
Absolutely.
videos of me scoring goals as a
Yes,
striker.
yes, yes, absolutely.
I defied the laws of physics to an extent while playing football. But yeah, so as a striker, you have to think, you have to adapt to the players around you. And that's we're gonna touch a little bit on that. And as a goalkeeper, the best education I had was like you can see the game, tactical analysis, and all the stuff. So this is where I come from. That's my background a little bit. Then let's start with your one, and then we're gonna go into the brief history of United.
Brief history of my United fan is that when I watched the '98 World Cup, I was only 8 years old. Sorry if I give away my age, but at that time I was in Dubai. I was born in Dubai. So যখন আরবিতে commentary হচ্ছিল, it was England playing, and every time Beckham would get the ball, there was David Beckham, David Beckham, David Beckham. They would go crazy, the Arabic commentators. I didn't understand what was going on, but the camera loved David Beckham. Like ওর উপর camera ছিল না। So I didn't understand what was going on. And then fast forward to the final match, the whole building কাঁপতেছিল কারণ ব্রাজিল আর ফ্রান্স খেলতেছিল, জিদান ছিল, সবাই ছিল. So I remember watching the game as a kid, and then ব্রাজিল হারছে দেখে আমার মন খারাপ ছিল, and I was like, France কেন জিতছে as a kid. But then again, the focus on Beckham came when my family moved to Bangladesh for good in the year 2000. And then I saw that the Bangladeshi newspaper আমি পড়তে হতো because আমার বাংলা কাছে ছিল. So newspaper sports section always Beckham. আর টিভি চ্যানেল ঘুরানোর সময় ESPN start করছে Beckham. So I was like, you know what, this guy, there's something here. So আমি ওর খেলা দেখবো, ESPN start করছে প্রত্যেক স্যাটারডে সানডে ফ্রাইডে আমি খেলা দেখতাম। খেলা দেখার সময় I was like, everything was like গোল দেওয়া মনে হয় ব্যাপারই ছিল না। It was poetry in motion. ফ্রি কিক নিতেছে, আমার আব্বু পাশে দাঁড়ায় থাকতো। আব্বু বলতো ফ্রি কিক নিবে, আমাদের সময় ফ্রি কিক গুলা বলতে বলতে ডেভিড বেকহাম স্কোর করছে। I remember this vividly. And he scored a direct free kick. And আব্বু বলে ফ্রি কিক থেকে ডাইরেক্ট গোল দিয়ে দিল, এটা কে, এটা কে? So those things made me really be in awe of Sir Alex and Beckham. And I would get the jersey. My first jersey was from Dubai. ভাইয়া নিয়ে আসছিল। It was a Vodafone Ruben still, right? It was all the way in Bangladesh. It was oversized. I didn't care. I wore it. So, and then I saw the whole transition, Beckham leaving, man, people আনতেছে, রোনাল্ডিনিও আসবে, পেপারে রোনাল্ডিনিওর ছবি, অ্যালেক্স কেটে কথা, and then suddenly this scrawny little kid Ronaldo came into the scene. ওর ডেবিউ আমি লাইভ দেখছি টিভিতে। I think I was part of history. আমার এখনো গুজবাম্পস হইতেছে বিকজ ওই জিনিসটাতে আমি খুব ইমপ্রেস ছিলাম। ওর ড্রিবলিং এন্ড এভরিথিং অন দ্য রাইট উইং, ইট ওয়াজ লাইক I was like, এটা কি হইতেছে? কারণ বেকহাম যাওয়ার পর সবাই ভাবতেছিল ম্যানিউ ডিক করবে, but it didn't. It was a different era. So that's my background of how I became a Manchester United fan, and I have been a Manchester United fan. I've been a fan of সবাই বলে ও তুমি রোনাল্ডো ফ্যান, তুমি তো ম্যানিউ সাপোর্ট, but for me it started with Beckham and it continued to stay with me.
COE on that point, যেটা I wanted to say, um, like actually we started off as Ferguson Beckham players they get support করছি, and then the Manchester United, the club stayed the most constant. Players comes and goes, player আসছে গেছে, even managers চলে গেছে। আমি ভাবছিলাম Ferguson যাওয়ার পরে that thing will not be there, but the club, Manchester United, because with all, it gave me some nice moments in life when they scored the last minute goals.
Oh yeah,
So Ferguson এরাতে যে last minute 90, এখন তো 90, এখন তো 100 minutes পর্যন্ত, তখন 90 ফার্গি টাইম হতো,
Fergie time.
ফার্গি টাইমে যে খেলাগুলা, that's why Ruud van Nistelrooy has a special place in my heart as a striker. Different এরাতে ছিল, different এরাতে different striker. And also going back to the World Cups, I did watch the 1998 World Cup. তখন club football দেখতাম না, ছিলাম Beckham got a red card against Argentina and blah blah blah,
Yes.
whatever. Then he took the revenge against Argentina in 2002 World Cup. I also saw the 1994 World Cup. Tafarel ছিল goalkeeper. He saved the penalty shootout. Italy কে হারাইছে, Baggio missed the penalty, I think.
ও আমার ভাইয়ের দরজায় বড় রবার্তো বেজো পোস্টার ছিল when I was a kid.
Yeah, so this was like, I'm dating myself, but 94, 98, Zidane, the birth of Zidane, I guess, the limelight Asha, and then 2002 was all Ronaldo. But Beckham played a very nice role into that World Cup and into the transition of Manchester United, and that's when started following Manchester United, and that's it. That's the club that stayed constant, and yeah, that's about us. So let's dive into the little bit of history about post-Ferguson era, right? We have bored the listeners for 10 minutes, so let's
Don't worry, we'll
viewers.
we'll we'll breeze through
We'll
the history.
we'll breeze through the history. History is like from 2002 to 2013. Manchester United basically on and off dominated. In between it, there was a guy called Special One called Jose Mourinho who came and disrupted. And then Chelsea won 2 times in a row. Roman Abramovich era started. Chelsea started pumping out, investing or throwing money left, right, center to build a new team. Manchester United played catch up, caught up. So then there was a noisy neighbor that came in. Ferguson probably saw that coming. And he, to a right extent, he didn't have the players, to be honest. Manchester United was not like ball possession. It was all about the wing play. There was a guy called Roy Keane who actually ran the midfield, Paul Scholes. But that was different era, right?
Definitely.
That make no mistake about it. That those players will not shine in this era. Football has changed and evolved. We should not be thinking Ferguson won league titles with John O'Shea. Just think about that. John O'Shea, who's probably slower than me, slower than Harry Maguire. But John O'Shea used to play in central defensive mid, left back, right back, center defense, Silvestre Chilo, you name it. Gabriel Heinz Chilo. So these are the players. Then Patrice Evra, Rio Ferdinand Vidic made the back four with Gary Neville and Wes Brown very consistent. And then we should not forget Barthez. Forget that guy. Ferguson actually made the history solid Manchester United by buying Edwin van der Sar, the goalkeeper from Fulham, for 3 million or 2.5 million pounds or whatever.
At that time, which was a fortune.
That was a fortune. But still, like he was a 35-year-old keeper, I think, 32 or 35-year-old keeper who actually came and played for Manchester United and won a Champions League. So from 2002 to 2013, Manchester United dominated. And then Ferguson retired. He retired winning the league. And that's when I was always thinking about the Ferguson chole gale ki hobe. This is my worst nightmare. Happened like 2013 till now. They have not won the 2024. They have not won the English Premier League. So they have not even come that close to winning it. So basically, post-Ferguson, Manchester United had, like 9 managers, including interim managers? Ruben Amorim, who's going to take charge on Sunday to play Ipswich.
So excited.
He is the 10th manager. So after Alex Ferguson, there was David Moyes, disaster replacement. He didn't last one season. I think after one season, he didn't even fully last the whole season. David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, another disaster. He used to play the ball sideways, but he had the best squad. They had Di Maria, they had Falcao, they had Robin van Persie, they have Wayne Rooney, and he still messed up that squad. Then there
Something
was
about
Jose.
Dutch managers.
I don't know. They don't have the personality. They don't have the skill set. I'm not going to say. Yeah, I will say skill set. Not for the English Premier League. They
There's
don't have the
also an
skill
ego
set.
problem in Dutch
Arne
managers.
Slot might prove me wrong, but there is the personality ego problem. Yes, and Van Gaal was like, shoot korte gelo sideway pass karo, pass the ball. Like, come on. So
It ruined the characters of certain attributes
yeah,
of the
Di Maria
players.
said it publicly that he sucked. He took the joy out of football from me. Di Maria liked to dribble, and he stopped him from dribbling. So Louis van Gaal, disaster. That's where, and we have to also keep in mind that with Ferguson, David Gill actually retired too. He was the CEO. He was basically Ferguson's boss. He was
Oh,
in recruitment.
right.
He retired.
Completely
That was
forgot about
another big loss. He was replaced by Ed Woodward, who didn't know anything about running a football club, but he was the best man for the Glazers, who are the owners of Manchester United, still are the owners. They're running a club that is in debt. They put the club in debt. So Ed Woodward was all about the commercial aspect of it, but he just kept on spending, but he bought the wrong managers. He brought in the wrong players, and there was no culture, no leadership stuff. So after Van Gaal, there was Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is another. The Jose Mourinho that we got was past his best. Let's put it that way. Like Ferguson, if Ferguson would have stuck around after 2013, Ferguson would have also had the same problems. Ferguson retired at the right time, at his peak. Mourinho, the Mourinho that we got, I mean, look at him now. The one that we got was past his best. He didn't change. Football evolved. He didn't change with the football. He stuck to his own tactics and philosophy. And then he got into arguments with the players, brash personality, media সাথে লাগছে. There was a certain Paul Pogba which didn't do any good. I don't know why they got him back. Pogba was a disaster, a bad influence on the dressing room. Him and Jesse Lingard, he made other players very ক্লাসের ভালো ছেলেগুলোকেও খারাপ করে ফেলে কিছু থাকে না যে বখাটে ছেলে বলাটা ভুল হবে বাট আছে স্টুডেন্ট ভালো বাট মাঝে মাঝে কনসিস্টেন্ট স্টুডেন্ট না লেটস সে পগবা ওয়াজ নেভার কনসিস্টেন্ট বাট সে ভালো ছেলেটাকেও খারাপ করে ফেলে সো
About Jose Mourinho, personally, I am a Jose Mourinho purist. I mean, like, I respect that guy. I love that guy. I love his sense of humor. I like how he is. But hey, or brash personality, definitely কিছু কিছু ক্ষেত্রে it raises eyebrows. Like, bro, I like you. Don't do that shit. এরকম আমি বলতাম টিভিতে। But আমার ওকে অ্যাজ এ ম্যানেজার এত ভালো লাগে এত, but he has no filter. ওই সময়টাতে টকিং অ্যাবাউট দ্য এরা অফ 2016-2017 সিজন, ওই সময়টাতে মিডিয়ার সামনে কেউ কিছু বলতে বা ক্যামেরার সামনে কেউ কিছু বলতে মানুষ এত মুফাট ছিল না। এখন যেমন আমরা পেপ বা ক্লপ ওদেরকে দেখি যে যা ইচ্ছা তাই বলে। Jose Mourinho, I believe he kind of started that trend, but they could be like whatever to referees, to linesmen. ওই সময় তো ফোর্থ অফিসিয়াল মনে ছিল না, ছিল I
না
don't know.
ছিল হ্যাঁ
ছিল
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 বাট
so
Ferguson started the trend I think
okay
Fergie time দিয়ে
Fergie
because
time
but
there
he used to say it in Scottish language or Scotland language accent
accent.
so অনেকেই বুঝতো না so they just thought that he was yelling but they didn't know what he was saying to be honest to an extent
He was yodeling.
I'm not gonna even try that accent.
Me neither.
So before Jose Mourinho আগে একটা জিনিস বলে দিই যে there was a Ryan Giggs era after Louis van Gaal got the sack. Ryan Giggs was in interim charge, but
In 3 months.
with all due respect, I'm not gonna dive too deep into that. Ryan Giggs was too busy with extracurricular activities outside of the football field with ladies, so he was never focused
Don't
on the.
hate. Don't hate the player, not the game, bro.
I don't
Because
hate.
he's got
He had.
game.
He got a lot of game. He messed up his own family, his own brother. Anyways, so that was all in the media. If you guys want to know more, dig deep. So Ryan Giggs, then Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho got into the Paul Pogba thing. I think he was right. Paul Pogba was wrong, but the United commercial aspect supported Paul Pogba. He was selling the merchandise. He was selling the stuff, commercially influencing the social media accounts and stuff like that. So Mourinho had to go. Mourinho lost the dressing room. He went and ক্লাবটাকে তো শান্তি মতো আনতে হবে so feel good factors brought in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That guy, I wish it was Ruud van Nistelrooy instead of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He didn't have the personality, to be honest. He wasn't very nice guy.
He looked
Very,
scared.
very nice.
He looked always scared.
He looked scared. He was very nice.
There was certain apprehension about him. Like he would always be like, মানুষ এমন আছে না যে oh he এমন, like he didn't have that, that persona, that presence that we saw, that boss is here. অ্যালেক্স ফার্গুসনকে সবাই বস বলতো, ঠিক আছে, লাইক দে উড অলওয়েজ সে বস, দে উড অলওয়েজ সে দ্যাট, বাট ও সোলস্কায়ারকে কেউ যদি সোলস্কায়ার যদি এসে বলতো ইয়ো কল মি বস, মানুষ তো বলতো
Yeah, so that's where the whole problem starts, right? So he didn't have the authority, and that's when he got Ronaldo back, right?
হি ডিড।
And then he lost the dressing room. Ronaldo কে হ্যান্ডেল করতে পারে, I mean Ronaldo কে সে হ্যান্ডেল করছে খুব ইয়ে করে, এবং then Ronaldo started to become authoritative figure because rightly so he saw certain players like Greenwood and others who were not listening to him. They were not putting the effort and the training, and that's where the whole problem started. Like problem তো আগেই ছিল. Solskjaer, that was the beginning of the end of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Disaster, and then they the board made a crazy decision about Ralph Ragnick. Interim manager আনবো, কিন্তু আমরা টেন হাগকে আবার next season থেকে, and interim manager এর জন্য nobody played for him. It was a complete disaster. Ronaldo didn't like the guy. I don't even know Ragnick was even a coach at that time. He was a director of something, recruitment in RB Leipzig. Then he retired. Then they brought him back. Like, complete disaster.
Ranick
Ragnick.
Ranick was weird, like definitely weird is
Yeah,
the
the
right
only
word.
thing he said was like open heart surgery দরকার এই স্কোয়াডের। আরে স্কোয়াডের ওপেন হার্ট সার্জারি দরকার, সেটা তো ডেভিড ময়েসের এরা থেকেই। Ferguson left an aging squad.
Yeah, thing is the
We're
thing
gonna come
about
to the
sorry go
yeah, we're gonna come to the squad part later, the players, the recruitment. But yeah, but
as a manager who's coming into a club of this nature, যেমন Amorim এর ব্যাপারে আমরা will get to that, but as a manager if you're coming to handle a big squad, if you open the old can of worms and complain, that's negative energy. তুমি ফ্যানদেরকে কি বলবা, তুমি মিডিয়াকে কি বলবো, where is your authority? Like যেটা হয়েছে হয়েছে, time to move forward, this is what I'm going to do for the club, this is what I'm going to do, we have Ronaldo, we have so many other players, let's get forward, we have a plan, just say we have a plan and stick to the plan. But they just want to if you bitch about stuff.
he didn't care because he knew that he's not gonna get the job. Ten Hag gonna bring his own staff. So then Ragnick era ended with Eric Ten Hag coming in. Never understood the guy's personality, to be honest with
I
you.
did,
Like,
I
you
did,
did?
I did.
You did?
I
Okay.
hate him so much, Adil. এত এত হেট করে people say that আমি ও কারাবাও জিতাইছে, এফএ জিতাইছে, ভাই থামো।
He
নিজের
won
his
2
nose was
trophies.
here, okay, whatever, his nose was here the day when he walked in, and Manchester United website Ten Hag is here, Ten Hag is here, new era, and then I was like, okay, I mean, দেখি, okay, as AX থেকে আসছে, but it was like he's trying to own everything, like, oh, like there's no warmth. It's like I belong here, আমি আসছি, yeah, এরকম বডি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ। আরে ভাই, একটু ওয়ার্মথ দরকার, একটু ওয়ার্মথ তো দরকার, ঠান্ডা হও, বাট আগে তো ওয়ার্মথ, ও টেম্পারেচার আগে রাইজ হওয়ার পর তো কুল ডাউন হয়। ওর মধ্যে কেমন জানি একটা মানে নাক উঁচা, like I did not like his body language. আসার পরে রোনাল্ডোর সাথে ঝামেলা, and he has his own fucked up system, excuse my offense, but ওর জানি না, আমার ওকে সহ্য হতো না। ও যখনই ইউনাইটেড একটা গোল দিত, র্যাশফোর্ডকে দিয়ে বা জারে দিয়ে একটা গোল, কেউ আর সামনে আগায় না, তাকায় থাকে মিডফিল্ডারদের দিকে, বল সামনে দিবে না, বল সামনে দিবে, এই কিপারকে দিয়ে রাইট ব্যাককে দিয়ে কিপার, কিপারকে দিয়ে লেফট ব্যাক, আবার সেন্টার ব্যাক, একটু ডিফেন্সিভ মিডফিল্ড দয়া করে, আবার ব্যাক। আরে ভাই, 45 মিনিটের হাফ, তুমি তো 20 মিনিট 25 মিনিট পিছিয়ে বল রাখ, তো তোমার তো ওই যে কার্ডিফ সিটি এরাও এসে গোল দিয়ে দিবে, সোয়ানসিও এসে গোল দিয়ে দিবে। আই ডিড নট লাইক হিম, ম্যান, ওর মধ্যে কোনো উইনিং মেন্টালিটি আমি দেখিনি। অনলি টাইম এফএ কাপ জেতার আমার দেয়ালোর একটা বড় হাত ছিল টু নক আউট লিভারপুল লাগবে, বিকজ আই থিঙ্ক দ্যাট একটা জিদ কাজ করছে প্লেয়ারদের উপর, ফর অল দ্য বুলিং দে গট ফ্রম দ্য লিভারপুল ওই টানেলের মধ্যে বা সামথিং। সো দে এত ওরা প্লেয়ার গুলো জিতাইছে, টেন হ্যাগ ওয়াজ অবভিয়াসলি দেয়ার, হি হ্যাজ 50% প্রেজেন্স অন ইট, বাট ওই কারাবাও দে প্লেড ফ্রিকিং নিউ ক্যাসল, রাইট? They won against
Yeah,
Newcastle.
they played
It's
Newcastle.
nothing. Come on, I'm not going to talk about it. FA Cup, it was Ten Hag's contribution to, but the team right after Amad Diallo's winner, United changed a lot that season. ওদের মধ্যে একটা ডিফারেন্ট স্পিড আসছিল। সো আই ফিল লাইক টেন হাগের পার্সোনালিটি আমি বুঝছি, ও এটা না কিছু ব্যাস্টার্ড, ও নিজের কি যে মনে করে, ও নিজের জন্যই ওর পতন। নিজের জন্য। ও AX এ যেটা করছে, same thing. It goes back to what I said earlier. If you're hung up on the past, how can you bring on the future? He was hung up on his success in AX, bro. নতুন club. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world. And তুমি একটা presence এনে তুমি try to build.
Well, do you know when I knew that he's not a great, like he's not a good manager, is when that Ajax team lost to Benfica before he came in the Champions League, before he came to Manchester United.
Right.
Benfica was not even like Benfica. Echonkar Benfica is better than that version of Benfica. So you lose to Benfica on two legs aggregated, and then you come to Manchester United, and then you have the Nakucha part. Yes, with the FA Cup, he won the FA Cup. He lost one final against Manchester City, and then the next season, following season, he went there. But that was all due to the players thinking that he's going to get the sack. A lot of players are going to leave. This is the last game of their career, even maybe last game. So Jan Pran diya Manchester City ke doya. And then Kobe Mino was a factor. Kobe Mino was a young guy
Huge
who
fact.
didn't get infected by the whole Ten Hag and Manchester United like Karsta.
He was unfazed, very unfazed. And Pep did not have enough data on me.
He did not, yes. So I actually saw Manu in the preseason of last season in the preseason. I saw him give Declan Rice the runaround when Manchester United played Arsenal at the MetLife Stadium. And I was like, this guy, man, Manu. And a lot of people were asking me, who the hell is this guy? I'm like, a 17-year-old kid. Watch out for him. So, yeah, Ten Hag. So now that brings us to this situation. And in this whole messed up Manchester United becoming a laughing stock, another thing happened was the change of ownership structure a little bit, right? So there is this. Let me explain. This is going to be boring for a lot of people, but it's to give the context. Let's talk about this. The Glazers, United States of America owners, Tara Manchester United, they started. I think they owned United from 2005 or something like that. So it was when Ferguson was there. They put the club. They bought the club, took money out of the club, and the club is in debt. এখানে Manchester United real fans গুলো অনেক এটা নিয়ে protest করছে. And then there was two bids. I think a couple of
It was,
seasons
they did buy in 2005
they did buy into
for
those
790 million euro.
790 million pounds, right? Yeah. And now they thought about selling, or they wanted to sell certain percentage of their shares. There was a bid from Qatar. The guy wanted to buy the entire Manchester United. They refused. And then this guy called Jim Ratcliffe, is Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He owns a bunch of bicycling stuff, and then the Nice, which is a French league team. Ineos, which are company. That company owns that football club in French league, Nice, OG Nice. They are actually offered to buy Manchester United, but he was sleek. He's a Manchester United fan, so he knew that he's not gonna get the entire Manchester United pura full ownership of it. So that's what he did. Is like, okay, give me 25%.
Slice of the
I'll buy
pie.
piece of the pie. Yeah, give me 25%. I'll take sporting control. I'll pay you, I think, 1.3 billion pounds or dollars or whatever.
1.3 billion, yes.
Yeah, 1.3 billion for 25%. Maybe it's 27.7%. Some of them reported. We don't know exactly the amount.
At
It's
least
between
25%.
at least 25%. Let's put it that way. And then he brought his own structure, own team. So he hired. He has his team. He's the main guy, org chart, and then below him is Sir Dave Brailsford or Brailsford. And then there's a Jod Claude Van Dam or Jod Claude Dam. John Claude Dam.
Sir Dave Brailsford.
Sir Dave Brailsford. একটা নাম হচ্ছে John Claude Dam or something. Under that, they have a CEO that they poached from Manchester City, Omar Berrada. That guy was very crucial in building Manchester City up. They got him in the summer.
Jean-Claude Blanc. He's French.
Yeah, that's exactly how you pronounce it. I'm not gonna even try. And then Omar Berrada সাথে আছে হচ্ছে Dan Ashworth. A lot of English media knows about Dan Ashworth. Rebuilt Brighton, rebuilt Newcastle United, poached him from Newcastle United.
Oh,
Dan Ashworth, and then
Omar is
technical
so
director.
young.
Omar is very young. And technical director is, I think, John Wilcox or Jay Wilcox or some Wilcox. He's a technical director.
So sad.
So, okay, let's not get into the whole thing.
But I'm
সবাই
really
bored
sad.
হয়ে গেছে তখনই?
I'm really sad.
Why?
He's so young, making so much money.
He doesn't have hair.
I win. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now you happy?
Yes.
So the whole thing is the ownership structure. Ownership structure wanted to get rid of Eric Ten Hag. Probably thought that Eric Ten Hag's not gonna do much, but I don't know why they extended his contract by 1 year. But
এত
the
চিল্লাইছি আমি ওদিন অনেক চিল্লাইছি অনেক ভাঙচুর
the
করতে
writing
ইচ্ছা
was on
করছে
the wall. Ugarte signing looks like Amorim signing. So Omar Berrada had Amorim in mind, the current Manchester United manager. Eric Ten Hagকে sack করছে, Amorimকে আনছে. This is where we are right now. This is the current state of
Wow,
Manchester United.
thank you for that. Adil. You know so much. I didn't know Omar. I didn't know that he was pulling the strings behind the curtain.
He pulled the string with Tichi Benastrino, যে Pep Guardiola's যে friend, Manchester City যে বেটা, Tixi. I don't know how you pronounce that. That guy and Omar did the recruitment of the Manchester City squad, including Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Haaland, all these players. Now he brought in Ruben Amorim. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Acha, now come to the main part. How to rebuild Manchester United. এখন কথা হচ্ছে যে this is the thing. What went wrong বলে লাভ নাই, এটাকে rebuild করা যায় কিভাবে সেটা হচ্ছে looking forward. And this is going to be a point of view of ours, and then there is a point of view of Ruben Amorim. We will try to share both of them, right? Like Ruben Amorim, আমরা এখনো জানি না. He's going to take charge. We'll see. From our point of view, how to rebuild Manchester United, right? My thing is that leadership and culture. Set that standard
The tone.
first. The tone, yes. Alex Ferguson যদি বলতো যে 5 দিনের ছুটি দিছি, 5 দিনে তোমরা 5 দিন বাসার মধ্যে বন্দি হয়ে থাকবা, you're not gonna go anywhere. No player, and I mean no player dared to go anywhere. তুমি যদি যাও, you're out of the door. See David Beckham, defied him, out of the door. Roy Keane, out of the door.
বেয়াদবি মানে
যাও. Ruud van Nistelrooy, out of the door. ঠিক আছে? So these players he got rid of. Ed Woodward আসার পরে the whole thing became more commercialized. The rules became very relaxed. So leadership and culture টা build করতে হবে যে whatever it is, everyone should follow this. That should come from the manager. I know Ruben Amorim is a head coach. Now, অনেকে জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারে what is the difference between a head coach and a manager? Technically, his job is basically to coach the players, and manager পজিশনগুলোতে Omar Berrada and ওরা সবাই manage করবে, right? So that's basically what it's all about. But he should also set the tone. He should have the say যে এই প্লেয়ারগুলা অমুক দিনে এইগুলো rules and regulations করতে পারবে. আরেকটা ব্যাপার হচ্ছে player recruitment. I think Manchester United recruited very poorly. Very poor players.
in the last few months or overall?
Since Ferguson left.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
think
bold
so.
statement. Some people might disagree with you.
Yes, but majority players gula bad recruitment chilo for the club. Okay, let's just. Di Maria was not a bad recruitment. Di Maria just couldn't play because Van Gaal didn't want him to play, right? Falcao was a bad recruitment. Falcao was injured, past his best. Then you look at Victor Lindelof. He doesn't have the skill set. He's a good player. Mentality আছে, but nai.
He has the never
Then
give up mentality. Lindelof fights a lot. Like he would
yeah,
jam দিয়ে খেলে.
but then Anthony Martial just collected a
Mm.
paycheck up until now. Remember? So
Yeah, I had a lot of expectation from him.
yeah. So before boring people, I don't be. I just I think the player recruitment phase. I think you have a lot to say, right? You wanted to say a lot about your transfers, some of the ones that you thought. I think Paul Pogba was a bad recruitment. He shouldn't have come back. He de-established dressing room like নষ্ট করে দিছে. So
Kind of destabilizing the locker room. Yeah, all these high impact players, Pogba. Yeah, you forgot to mention Zlatan.
Zlatan was an impact player. Zlatan was actually a Mourinho signing, right? And Zlatan at সময় when Zlatan left, that's when the whole Lukaku was there too, right? So we had Matic too.
I like Matic.
Yeah, but he was slow.
Lukaku, oh my God, these were the some of the players that
And they
you
overpaid for
overpaid.
these
You
players.
would get excited as a fan when you would read the news or you would hear about it. Something you'd get really excited. Pogba or like Ibrahimovic or Di Maria. I remember I was jumping up and down by hearing about Di Maria, and I was like, "That's it, baby, we're back." Ferguson gets the cues. But all of my other friends who support other teams laughed at me. They were like, and they did say that Van Ham Netherlands national team কে করছে তার মানে এনা ইউনাইটেড কে পারবে ক্লাব প্রিমিয়ার লিগ ইজ ডিফারেন্ট এটা সেটা অনেক কিছু বলছিল and they were so damn right. হ্যাঁ, in terms of the players, definitely United it goes back to what you said about the culture because the culture that Sir Alex Ferguson had was very different. You can never compare no other staff. যে নাকি ব্রুমো দিত Old Trafford, they always said that Sir Alexের একটা aura ছিল. I know there's a lot of chatter about aura for the last couple of weeks on social media, but ওই টাইমটাতে সে aura mention করছে। আর এর মধ্যে যারা আসছে, they were like, I think they were just too happy to be part of the Manchester United roster that আমি একটা manager. So ওই legacy-টা carry forward করা অসম্ভব, but for someone to come in fresh and be like all the eras ahead, back, Ferguson, Moyes, যাই হয়েছে, এখান থেকে ট্রেনটা শুরু। I'll have my team, তোমাদের ফ্যানদের টিম এটা, বাট আমি আমার ব্যাক টিম, আমার ফিজিও, আমার অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট কোচ, আমার ক্যারিংটনের মধ্যে পুরো একটা জাল, নট জাল, সরি, একটা পুরো একটা অথরিটি বেস করে, ফাউন্ডেশন করে, একতলা দোতলা তিনতলা করে আমরা বানাবো। And which brings us to Amorim. Amorim is so young. He interned under Mourinho. He saw things from the background. একটু আগে তুমি কিপাররা they see it from the back. They see the whole snapshot. আচ্ছা ডিফেন্স আগাইতেছে কেন আইতো আগাইছে না, that's why we see the keeper so agitated all the time. একটু আগে ভ্যান ডার সারের কথা বলছো, they would yell. So I feel like behind the curtain Amorim got a picture of United many years back, but Amorim is a sharp kid. He played for Portugal. He noticed his strengths. He's a good tactician. He's not a good athlete, but he can use his athleticism to get down and dirty in the field and then get his tactics right, which he did with Sporting. And Sporting loves him. The fans worship him. The players are willing to come back, follow him to a team that he goes to. So these are the things. You might not know Amorim, but it would speak volumes about the aura or the leadership quality that he possesses. And those clips that came up of him at Carrington, oh my God, I was like, আরো দেখতে চাই, you know? And then his first day when he walked into Old Trafford, he shook hands with everybody, man, even the interns. Such a
Yes, he
down
did.
to earth guy. He didn't hesitate. He said hi to everybody. He went to the people in the locker room who were in the tour, camera নিয়ে video করে, and he went to say hi to them.
Mhm.
Who has that time? Like, oh, ফ্যানদের সাথে meet করবো? Why? And then his interview with the media, the pre-match and everything, he spoke a lot of good stuff. So far, no other manager spoke so confidently and so with a smile on their face. সবার মধ্যে একটা hesitancy ছিল. Yeah, we'll try, let's see, we'll try. But he's so fresh, like his aura and presence, like it radiates positivity. And that's why I'm so excited about Sunday.
He actually gave an interview with Gary Neville, and I think you guys should check it out. That
You sent me.
one thing a lot of managers didn't say, but he's very adamant about it, is his philosophy and formation. He's going to play a 3-4-3 formation or 3-4-2-1 formation. So let's take a look at it.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'll try my best to actually showcase that. Let's
Guys,
take a
we
look.
have visualized it. We talked about it now in the flesh or in the screen
So
in pixels.
he's gonna actually play a 3-3-4-3. So আমার player গুলো choose করছি. I chose the ones that I think can play this formation. I think Lenny Yoro is coming back from injury. Lenny Yoro, Matthias Dillit, and Lisandro Martinez, 3 center backs. So
Do you want to quickly mention about the stamina factor?
yes, I'm coming to that.
Okay,
Is
okay.
that basically Diego Dallo? The stamina factor is huge for Amorim, and Amorim's game, you have to outrun the opposition. That's his philosophy and stamina. So here you can see that these wing backs gonna be more like wingers and right backs. এখানে হয়তো বা মাজুরের জায়গায় লুক শ খেলবে if he has the stamina, which I don't think he has. He's coming back from. But let's put these two. These two have the highest stamina for now. Once they go up, এগুলা ন্যারোতে থাকবে. Garnacho, I think he's going to play a little narrow. Bruno number 10 এ খেলবে. Bruno একটু roaming position থাকবে. And once these goes up, Ugarte is going to come here. Mainu, depending on the opposition, will have a free roaming opportunity, but Mainu will be here. Sometimes Mainu will be replaced by Casemiro. So Casemiro and Ugarte will protect the back three. And sometimes the back three will become back two because Lisandro Martinez will go up to support the midfield. And then these two will be the two defenders. But once they lose the ball, they're going to have to all run back. যেটা ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেড ফার্গুসন যাওয়ার পর থেকে করে নাই. Run back, keep in position. They all know তাদের পজিশনটা. And this striker, Hoyland or Rashford, Zergzi মনে হয় না খেলবে, will have to run the channels. You're not going to come here to get the ball. You're going to come here, hold up play, yes, but you're going to run this way so that Garnacho or whoever is can go this way, or Bruno can come in. You take the defenders with you. So, in other words, this gives a balance. So at times, this can become a back five when they're defending. 5, and then they can also go back like this.
For a possible turnover.
Yes, 5-4-1.
That's how they structure defensively.
Correct. So Garnacho goes back with a 5-4-1. Abar attacking gale, run. But Ugarte, era maximum. These are the players that's going to make the movements. Eita, Lenny Yoro, Matthias Dillet, Kobe Mainu, Ugarte will hold down the fort, basically. So that's my understanding. And Onana will play as sweeper keeper. So that's in a nutshell. That's basically what I think gonna be Manchester United under Ruben Amorim. Main thing is that they will have to outrun the opposition.
Wow. That was
Outrunning the opposition. And I don't want to go too deep into it because we don't know how he's gonna start, but this is my way. Because that way, even though the players don't have the skill set, they can actually somehow survive this season. And then he can bring in his own players. And that way, basically stamina, দৌড়াতে হবে. Football is a game of running. Doesn't matter if you're running fast or slow. You have to run. You have to cover the ground. Support your teammates, but at least you know that ballটা হারাইলে কোন পজিশনে তুমি দাঁড়াবা. Like কোন পজিশনে থাক.
So a couple of things that I would like to add for whoever is a Man U fan or not who watch the Premier League, that all this time if you complain why is Man U defending like that, because all this time they have 4 defenders. and the right back, left back, the fullbacks would, whenever they would advance and foolishly they might lose the ball, it would be all up to the CDM, the central defensive midfield, or the back two. So they were so vulnerable for counters, right? But with Amorim's structure, even if the ball is lost in the midfield or the right side or left side, you have a three-man coverage for the defense that's fixed. And within Ugarte, Casemiro, Menu, one of them would always be there. So you have a four-man coverage instead of the three-man coverage. And based on the legs of these people, defensively, you can expect more clean sheets. You can expect more ball retention. Which brings us to the stamina factor. Outside of the keeper, there are 10 outfield players. He has 5 substitutions. Out of the 5 substitutions, the other 5, they have to run 90 minutes, no matter what. So that how Amorim deploys those substitutions and at what time is going to play a vital factor in the United States.
And I want to quickly mention Manchester United কিন্তু ফার্গুসনের আন্ডারে খেলতো 4-4-1-1 and then ও যাওয়ার পরে খেলা শুরু করছিল 4-2-3-1. The problem happened is this: they don't have the players, and 4-2-3-1 এর problem হচ্ছে যে Man U, these players, because এই যে wingback গুলো যাচ্ছে, they didn't have the so support ছিল না. এখানে মিডফিল্ডের থেকে একজন উঠে যেত, and then you're stuck with these 3 players. So that's why it was easy, and Bruno doesn't have the thing to come back, track back. So এখান থেকে যেন center থেকে they were so easily split open, and these, even though they were coming back, but it was too late. Now with 3-4-3 he has that cushion, and that is apparently that's a progressive formation, right? A very progressive formation.
Absolutely.
So এটাতে তোমার out of position, they have less chance of getting countered, because wingback gula plays a very crucial role. Wingbacks are going up and down, up and down, up and down. And maximum time a duita defensive mid, they are substituted after 65 minutes. So there's going to be like Kobe jaga Casemiro jaga Ugarte jaga Kobe. They can rotate. This is never going to be the 2 of them, because they have to cover a lot of ground too.
Wow.
So that's my 2 cents.
No, it's a great analysis. Wow, great job.
So
good analysis.
Well, and that's one way of rebuilding Manchester United. And the next one is definitely you have to bring the players in. Like, it's all about the players. Coach can coach you to a certain extent. The players have to have the mentality and have to have the skill set. Like, you cannot win anything with Harry Maguire, even though he might succeed in this formation if he doesn't go too far up, if they don't play the high line. But Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, এদেরকে নিয়ে জিতা যায় না. Even McTominay চলে গেছে.
I miss him.
But but he was a super sub. But যখন ওকে starting এ খেলানো হয়তো, he didn't do much. So
Impact
and then
sub.
the Dallo and his coaching. Dallo is not a great defender. Dallo is more like a right winger. Mazraoui is good, but Mazraoui can defend.
Mazraoui had the most tackles successful.
Yes, Casemiro, he needs to be replaced. He has his legs have
running
gone.
out of gas.
Running out of gas. So Kobe Mainuke দিয়ে এবং young defenders গুলো কেন Lenny Euro, yes, and Hoyland, they need to start scoring goals. Maybe Rashford is gonna play. Rashford, this is his last chance.
There's
He
a
has
lot
to
of
play
chatter. He's going to be number 9 this week.
Yeah. So if he's number 9, he has to score goals.
Better.
Yeah. So I guess that's what that's how we're gonna rebuild Manchester United, and also buy players, like buy cheap players. Don't overpay for them. Buy the players and then sell the deadwoods. You know. That's my 2 cents.
Well said. Well, I guess that covers our path to glory, path to rebuilding Manchester United by fans who have been part of the club for like 20 plus years. And that's you and me, Adil, both. Both of them have very different perspectives of the
Yes.
club. We really, really, really hope you enjoyed listening to this, watching us, watching our antics, or for me to have successfully mentioned Jiki's name, that I was successfully able to mention it. So I'm very happy that I was able to mention it successfully. I was basking in that glory for a long time. I had my mouth open for about 2.5 minutes because I was so surprised.
And then, just like Manchester United, my camera overheated and shut down. So we switched to a grainy camera, so we're all equal now again, because
The camera is telling you
the camera is telling us that this is, I mean, Manchester United ব্যাপারটা নিতে পারতেছি
we
না.
have to wrap up.
Just wrap up. So we should wrap up with I think Manchester City. There has been chatter about Manchester City getting relegated because they have some charges coming from the FA.
It's as exciting as it sounds. It's still 50-50.
And Pep Guardiola নিজেই বলছে that he's gonna go down with them to the conference or even the second division, first division championship and bring them back up.
It's going to go down the rabbit hole and climb up the manhole.
That means Jose Mourinho gets a winner's medal, right?
Absolutely.
He came second. Even Solskjaer gets it, or no? Mourinho
A
gets
lot of
it
people
only.
get it, actually.
No, second হয়েছিল খালি কি Solskjaer Mourinho under it. I don't know if they came second under Solskjaer. Solskjaer under third হয়েছিল. I think yeah, Mourinho gets a winner's medal. All hopeful thinking. All right, that's it, I guess. This has been the Manchester United episode. Just like Manchester United, my camera gave up on me, but I didn't give up on that camera.
End of an era.
Nah, I'm gonna still stick with this camera. All right, I guess Fardan, anything else, or
Nothing,
that's
it's
it?
just that we're very excited about the Amorim takeover. The clips and the interviews have got us really excited. The tactics, which we mentioned, the players that are going to be used, the players that have come out of the shell, Luke Shaw and Malasia and Europe. So these are all exciting prospects. The energy level is going to be different, especially at the first Old Trafford game, but there's a lot to prove. There's a lot of spotlight on Amorim, but I feel like this guy likes his spotlight, so he's going to smile through and through. He's not going to let us see his nervousness. By his body language, I can see it. So we're going to hope for the best, and even if you don't like the club, you can still hope good for the club. Who doesn't want to see good football? Who doesn't want to see great football? So definitely, we're all hoping for that.
Correct. So I guess that's it for now, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for watching and listening and hearing us talk about our club, Manchester United. But that doesn't mean like everyone is biased. But I hope this was not a biased perspective. This was completely we try to be unbiased as much as we can. If you agreed, please let us know in the comment section. Until next time, we will have the FPL game week 12 roundup after Monday's game, probably on Monday. So please subscribe for that. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Leave a comment on what you thought about our analysis, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so. That's gonna help us on our channel a lot.
Yeah, helps the algorithm. All right, take care, guys.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
guys. We love this.